So we just set off from the car park now, and literally you just walk along the side of the canal. It's a place where there are private barges moored here most of the year, so if you like photographs of canal boats and everything, this is a great place for them. But obviously just be aware that people do live on them. They probably don't want people poking camera lenses in through the windows and things. Good path. A lot of cyclists, a lot of runners use this, so always just be on the lookout for that. But also you get some really great views out over Standish and over towards Wigan as well. Okay, so after about a kilometre of walking, you come to your first canal bridge. Just slowly pan round. That's it there. Now, we parked at bridge 63, and it's called that because that's the actual bridge number on the Leeds Liverpool canal. And this one we're coming up to now is bridge 62. It sounds obvious, but that's just how they set these, how they set them up a couple of 100 years ago when they first built the Leeds Liverpool canal. So what we're going to do now is we're going to just come away from the canal path, just come up this little steep incline, and now we are here, and this is Pendlebury Lane. So as you come off the canal path, we're going to turn right now and go down Pendlebury Lane. Next stop after some houses will be the start of our hidden gem. So, carry on down Pendlebury Lane and you come to a proper bridge. The viaduct and the archway and everything is still actually here. If you just turn to your right off the path, follow it down, watch your heads on the branches. It is quite accessible, this path. Probably get a bit muddy when it's been raining, but right here in the middle of Douglas Valley, right in the middle of nowhere really, and all overgrown now, crumbling bits of brickwork, is an absolutely fantastic railway viaduct, no longer used. You can't really access the top of it, it's all fenced off, so this is the best you can get to it. But it spans the River Douglas, which is right down at the bottom. Like I said, we just didn't know this was here until a couple of months ago, and we found out about it and thought we'll come and find out a little bit more about it, but also come and take some photographs of what is quite a spectacular structure. Okay, so we're just still on the path, just on the way down now to where the River Douglas is, and again it has been dry, and I can't emphasise enough, this will probably get very, very boggy after any rain, or indeed if the River Douglas gets any higher, which sometimes it does sometimes flood at the bottom of the valley, but it's worth persevering. I mean, you know, this is an unbelievable piece of civil engineering. I'm quite sure if this was in some other parts of the country, this would probably form part of some sort of park or walkway. As it is, it's just been sort of left to crumble. There are signs about falling masonry. If you look at some of the brickwork up close, it's not in the best condition. I said, just be careful with footsteps. Don't want to go too far and end up in the duggy. But look at that. That's the central span there over the Douglas, which is looking very calm today, but after rain it does get a little bit wild, and you just see the viaduct disappearing into the distance. Okay, so when you've taken the photographs of the viaduct behind, the path runs alongside the Douglas out to another spot, which is equally as impressive of another bridge. There's no spans on this one, it is just the posts and everything, but stuck where they are right in the middle of a forest, or a wood should I say. It looks a little bit eerie, but also just as impressive for some really fantastic photos. So I'll just spin the camera round. And this is the path at the side of the River Douglas. Like I said, just watch out, there are some really deep ruts in this, and you're also quite near some water as well, so please do take care. Okay, so probably a couple of 100 metres further on from the viaduct, and you follow the path and you come to this area. If you just look beyond those trees in front, you can see some rather ominous looking blocks sticking up. They look a little bit like dominoes waiting to be toppled over. But these are the remains of another bridge that spanned the Douglas Valley, and this is the second site down here. And again, really gives you a great idea of what these structures must have been like when they were complete. And you'll see what I mean about them looking like dominoes waiting to be toppled. So we're now just back at the car. We've walked back along the canal. It's about 4.5 kilometres. It's taken us about an hour there and back. Although obviously you'd spend a bit more time there taking some photographs and things like that. But it's a great little walk. You're out in the countryside. You're not that far away from Wigan town centre, and it's amazing how much countryside and great things to look at there are not too far away from major town centres. And especially something like that, that, as we said, is a real hidden gem. You know, we didn't know that was actually there up until a couple of months ago. So hopefully we've shown you something to come and visit. Obviously, hopefully inspired you to come out here or some other places near where you may live, to come out and take some photographs. And like I said, we look forward to hearing about things you've discovered. And remember, marriedwithgrownups.co.uk, find out more about some of the places we get to and some more hidden gems.